In the digital age, where friend requests can bridge distances instantly, the tragic tale of Nichole Cable unfolds. Nichole, a vibrant 15-year-old from Glenburn, Maine, vanished into the night after accepting a seemingly harmless Facebook friend request. This decision spiraled into weeks of conversation with someone she believed she knew, leading to a fateful meeting in person. On Mother's Day, May 12, 2013, her family's world turned upside down. The evening promised a quiet end to a celebratory day, but for Nichole, it marked the last moments she would be seen alive. Her disappearance ignited a frantic search, plunging the community into a mystery that begged the question, who was behind the screen? This case peels back the layers of a chilling reality, how a simple click on accept can lead to unforeseen and tragic consequences. As the investigation unfolds, we're left grappling with the uncertainty of Nichole's fate. Was she a victim of a meticulously planned deception, or was something more sinister at play? What led to the sudden disappearance of a teenager just steps away from her home? In the heart of Penobscot County, Maine, nestled just outside the bustling life of Bangor, lies the small, serene town of Glenburn. It's a place where neighbors know each other by name, and the rhythm of life flows quietly, unperturbed by the chaos of the outside world. Within this tranquil setting lived Nichole Cable, a vibrant 15-year-old whose spirit and smile were as bright as the sprawling landscapes that defined her hometown. Nichole, with her dreams as vast as the Maine skies and a heart full of youthful innocence, was the quintessence of the hope and promise that every small town cherishes in its young. Mother's Day, May 12, 2013, dawned like any other in the Cable household, marked by the celebrations and quiet joys typical of this special occasion. Christine Y., Nichole's mother, had basked in the warmth of her family's love, treasuring a handmade card from Nichole, the first of its kind. It was a day filled with the simple, profound pleasures that bind a family together. Yet, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with strokes of pink and orange, an undercurrent of change stirred unnoticed, ready to disrupt the tranquility of their lives. As evening approached, with a light rain caressing the earth and a gusty wind whispering through the trees, Nichole mentioned she'd be stepping out briefly. A friend, Brian Butterfield, someone she had come to know through the winding paths of online interaction, was supposed to drop something off. Christine, aware of her daughter's plans but unfamiliar with Brian, reminded Nichole of her promise not to venture beyond the end of the driveway. With a sense of trust that comes from the innocence of youth, Nichole assured her mother of her safety and disappeared into the night, her steps light and unknowing of the weight they carried. The Cable home, usually echoing with the sounds of life, was shrouded in silence the next morning. Nichole's absence cast a shadow that reached into the very soul of her family, turning routine into panic and certainty into fear. Calls to her cell phone were met with the cold, impersonal greeting of a voicemail, while texts, Nichole's lifeline to her world, vanished into the void, unanswered. As the community of Glenburn awoke to the news of Nichole's disappearance, the serene town found itself at the heart of a mystery that would unravel a web of digital deceit. The quiet road where Nichole was last seen became the starting point of a journey into the unknown. Questions mounted as investigators delved into the conversations Nichole had with the person she believed was Brian. What happened to Nichole Cable on that fateful night, and what truths lay waiting to be uncovered in the silent, watchful woods of Glenburn? As the morning sun cast its first light over the quiet town of Glenburn, Maine, a frantic Christine Y. dialed the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office, her voice trembling with fear. Her daughter Nichole, just 15, had vanished into the night. The response from law enforcement was a cold comfort. They urged patience, suggesting Nichole might simply be a teenager out on a whim, expected to return at any moment. But Christine knew her daughter Nichole's silence was out of character. The news of Nichole's disappearance spread with swift unease. Friends and family, rallied by Christine's determined spirit, transformed into a makeshift search party. Missing person posters, bearing Nichole's smiling face, began to dot the landscape of Glenburn and beyond, each flyer a silent plea for her safe return. Christine's voice, breaking with emotion, echoed through local media outlets. The community's initial inertia gave way to a mobilized force as the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office officially took up the case. No resource was spared. The quiet town became the epicenter of a desperate search. Officers canvassed the area, interviewing friends, piecing together the events of that fateful Sunday evening. The last known communication, a text from Nichole about meeting Brian Butterfield, became a pivotal clue in unraveling the mystery of her disappearance. As the investigation deepened, a statewide alert cast a wider net, drawing attention from far beyond the borders of Glenburn. The question that haunted everyone's mind was, what happened to Nichole Cable on that lonely stretch of road? Among the flurry of activities, two significant leads emerged, each pointing to a larger web of deception that had ensnared the young girl. Detective Andy Whitehouse took the lead on interviewing Brian Butterfield, a name that had come up repeatedly in Nichole's social media communications. The real Brian Butterfield, a 19-year-old who had attended high school with Nichole, was bewildered by the questions thrown at him. It became clear that the Brian Butterfield Nichole had been messaging was an imposter, a revelation that deepened the mystery and urgency of the case. Simultaneously, Detective Brent Bolo delved into the digital breadcrumbs left by Nichole. Her social media footprint was vast, a testament to her active engagement online. Nichole, like many of her peers, navigated a digital world where friendships were made and maintained. Among the numerous connections, one stood out starkly: Brian Butterfield. As Bolo sifted through the digital evidence, it became evident that the person behind the Brian Butterfield account, this fake Butterfield, had meticulously copied all visible aspects of the real Brian's social media profile, creating a convincing facade. The deception was deep, and the implications were chilling. Who was this imposter and what were their intentions? The question loomed large as Detective Bolo took decisive action, sending out search warrants and subpoena requests to Facebook. The goal was to peel back the layers of anonymity that the imposter had hidden behind, to uncover the real identity driving this deceit. The urgency was palpable. Each moment that passed could mean the difference between finding Nichole safe or confronting a tragedy. Meanwhile, the real Brian Butterfield, cleared of any suspicion, provided a crucial clue. He suggested that Kyle Dube, a recent acquaintance of Nichole's, might be behind the impersonation. This new lead sent shockwaves through the investigation. Dube, known to have had a complicated relationship with Nichole, now emerged as a prime suspect in her disappearance. When Nichole Cable vanished, a simple Facebook message led to a complex investigation. Nichole thought she was meeting Brian Butterfield, a friend, but the truth was darker. The real Brian knew nothing about the meeting. This clue turned the case upside down. Detectives quickly learned the Brian Nichole was messaging was fake. The imposter? None other than Kyle Dube, a name that brought new angles to the mystery. Kyle, 20, once close to Nichole, had become obsessed with her after their breakup. His actions started to sketch a chilling picture of deception. Facebook's urgent response to police revealed the fake account's secrets. The digital fingerprints left behind pointed straight to Kyle Dube's doorstep. His IP address and phone number were the key that unlocked the door to his involvement. This evidence shifted the focus directly onto him. Kyle's past was no secret to the town. Known for minor crimes and a wild motorcycle chase, he was on the edge of serving jail time. Despite trying to turn his life around for his daughter, his darker side lingered, and now it seemed it had ensnared Nichole in a dangerous plot. The situation at Kyle's home added layers to the story. His relationship with Nichole, once innocent, turned sour because of his girlfriend's jealousy. Sarah Maringer, living with Kyle, saw Nichole as a threat. Her aggressive texts to Nichole were a stark warning of the tangled emotions involved. As the investigation delved deeper into Kyle's digital deception, a narrative of obsession, jealousy, and a tragic entanglement began to unfold. The community watched, hoping for answers, as detectives worked to uncover the truth behind Nichole's disappearance. With Kyle Dube now a prime suspect, the quest for justice for Nichole Cable intensified. Kyle Dube's behavior raised eyebrows. The day following Nichole's disappearance, Kyle, who until then hadn't mentioned Nichole online, shared her missing person poster on his Facebook. He even reached out to Nichole's mom, Christine, offering to babysit her youngest daughter amid the frantic search, a move that struck many as odd given the circumstances. As investigators dug through digital footprints and conducted interviews, the community rallied together. An incredible wave of solidarity saw over 500 volunteers combing through the area, desperate for any sign of Nichole. The tension in the air was palpable, each passing hour amplifying the community's dread. The breakthrough came on May 14th, 2 days into the search. Detective Bill Flagg, scouring the woods near Nichole's home, stumbled upon ominous clues: a dark blue knit hat altered into a makeshift mask, a single sock, and a black sneaker. These items, discarded by the roadside, were hastily sent for analysis, hoping they might unravel the mystery of Nichole's disappearance. The following morning, Kyle Dube found himself under the scrutiny of Maine State Police Major Crimes Unit. Detectives presented irrefutable evidence linking him to the fake Brian Butterfield account that had lured Nichole out of her home. Despite Kyle's protests of innocence, the digital evidence was damning, with over 120 logins to the account traced back to his phone. Yet, with Nichole still missing, the pieces of the puzzle were incomplete. In the days that followed, Kyle's facade began to crumble. Sentenced for an unrelated crime, he was seen visibly distraught as he was processed into jail. His emotional state so concerning, he was placed on suicide watch, a rare measure for someone his age. This emotional breakdown suggested Kyle was grappling with more than just the consequences of his past actions. The case took a darker turn when Sarah, Kyle's girlfriend, decided to cooperate with the investigation. Her testimony could potentially unlock the truth behind Nichole's fate, hinting at a sinister layer to Kyle's involvement. As Kyle languished in his cell, the community held its breath waiting for the next revelation in the haunting search for Nichole Cable. On Monday, May 20th, Detective Jennifer Fisk interviewed Sarah, Kyle's girlfriend, and learned a chilling revelation. Kyle had confessed to her that he had killed Nichole and disposed of her body. According to Sarah, Kylie had driven her out of town, past the old Darts gas station in Old Town over a bridge, and turned off the road to the left, following the shore near a dam. He claimed to have left Nichole's body in a clearing, covered with branches and leaves. On the way back, he threw Nichole's clothes out of the truck window. Simultaneously, Detective Peltier spoke with Kyle's brother, who corroborated Sarah's story, providing even more disturbing details. Kyle, using the fake Brian Butterfield persona, had lured Nichole to the end of the driveway on that dark night. Intent on kidnapping her, Kyle, wearing a dark mask, ambushed her in the darkness. A struggle ensued, and he, not intending to kill her, but render her unconscious, ended up choking her. He then duct-taped her mouth and body, loaded her into the back of the borrowed pickup truck, and took her to a secluded spot where he intended to conceal her. Kyle's plan was bizarre. He wanted to be a hero by kidnapping Nichole, stashing her in the woods, and then participating in the search for her, rescuing her, and becoming a local hero. However, Nichole fought fiercely for her life, tearing her jacket and digging her fingernails into Kyle's face. In the struggle, Kyle, overwhelmed, fought back, strangling her too hard and for too long. Realizing she was dead, he dumped her body as planned and disposed of evidence poorly along the way. Already in the county jail for a previous offense, Kyle faced further arrest and formal charges for the murder of Nichole Cable. At 9:30 p.m. on that day, a game warden, working with a search dog, discovered Nichole's lifeless body hidden under a pile of branches and leaves. Jason, Nichole's father, received a phone call from the police. As they came up, Jason, hoping against hope, asked if they had found her. The officers, with a solemn nod, confirmed the tragic discovery. DNA tests on clothing found near Kyle's home matched Nichole's DNA. The makeshift mask used by Kyle during the attack also matched DNA obtained from him during his previous arrest. A skilled defense attorney might argue the possibility that Kyle was a scapegoat in a plan hatched by his jealous girlfriend, pointing to her occasional access to his Facebook account and cell phone and her history of conflicts with Nichole. However, at his arraignment, Kyle pleaded not guilty to kidnapping and murdering Nichole Cable. The emotional toll on Nichole's family was heart-wrenching. Jason, upon hearing the news, spoke of the devastating moment when the police confirmed finding Nichole's body. The DNA evidence, the discovery of Nichole's belongings, and the details of the struggle painted a grim picture. The legal proceedings were just beginning, and the family faced a long and painful journey to seek justice for Nichole. As the investigation unfolded, the eerie details surrounding Nichole's tragic fate and the twisted plot devised by Kyle continued to captivate the community. The revelation of Kyle's bizarre plan, Sarah's involvement, and the discovery of Nichole's body added layers of complexity to the case. The courtroom drama that lay ahead promised to unravel the intricacies of this dark and shocking crime. As the case against Kyle Dube unfolded, it became a testament to the grim reality that justice, while often slow, is relentless in its pursuit. The trial, a culmination of months of investigation, evidence gathering, and heartache for Nichole Cable's family, stretched over 9 days that seemed to encapsulate the weight of the tragedy itself. Kyle's time in jail prior to the trial revealed a person seemingly oblivious to the magnitude of his actions. Engaging in phishing, a jailhouse method of communication, Kyle inadvertently penned a confession that would solidify his fate. The detailed account, complete with diagrams explaining his meticulous efforts to remove any trace of himself from Nichole's body, became a pivotal piece of evidence. Despite his defense team's efforts to dismiss Kyle's jailhouse writings, the undeniable match of DNA under Nichole's fingernails to Kyle dismantled any remaining shred of doubt about his guilt. The trial laid bare not only the heinous nature of Kyle's crime, but also his apparent lack of remorse. His refusal to accept a plea deal, forcing Nichole's family to endure the agony of a trial, was a testament to his self-centered disposition. The court's subsequent decision to find Kyle guilty on all counts was a moment of vindication for Nichole's family, though it could never compensate for their loss. Kyle's lack of remorse extended beyond the courtroom. Throughout the proceedings, he displayed a chilling indifference to the gravity of his actions, focusing solely on his predicament rather than the young life he had brutally taken. This self-absorption was evident in his reaction to the verdict and sentencing, where he seemed more concerned with his fate than with the pain he had caused Nichole's loved ones. The sentence handed down to Kyle Dube was more than just a legal judgment. It was a clear message that such vile actions would not be tolerated. Locked away for what could be the remainder of his life, Kyle was left to confront the reality of his actions in the solitude of a prison cell. The community he had shattered could only begin the slow process of healing, forever haunted by the tragedy. Nichole's story hits deep, showing us how quickly life can change and the shadows hidden in our online world. It's a call to all of us to stay alert and cherish every moment. Hit the like button to honor Nichole's memory and spread her cautionary tale. Subscribe for more stories, drop a comment to share your thoughts, and connect with others touched by Nichole's story. By sharing this video, you're helping to keep the conversation going, making our online spaces safer. And don't miss out on our next story. Turn on those notifications.